Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Dawn with Scrapbook Sage. I decided to go ahead and join in the Cara Brandon Craft Room Organization Challenge. So I feel like I can function in my craft room because I do try to keep it organized. Um, but it's my organized mess. I don't know that anybody else would understand it. But one thing that has really helped, and I started doing this last year, was organizing by seasons. And so I have my little micro areas that I work in, and I try to organize those seasonally. I am one of those crafters who hates to throw out scraps. And so yesterday I was listening to a business training, and during which time I was doing the business training, I was also cutting up ephemera. Um, I print out ephemera once a month with my ink plan. We all might have the HP ink plan where we have I have 300 prints available a month, and then it rolls over. And I'm sort of don't I don't want to lose my rollover, so make sure I print 300 prints a month. So then I have this time where I feel like I need to cut up my ephemera and put it in a place that is functional. So I'm going to show you sort of that process. But so yesterday I cut up this ephemera, and then I had all these scraps, and I'm like, well, I don't want to throw out that scrap paper. And I've been wanting to try to use my stencils a little bit more. So I was just playing around, and it's like, okay, it is sort of Valentine's springtime. Let me use my alcohol inks and things that I have and sort of build up some things to play with. I also do Calvin Ball in March, and I like to have things sort of ready to grab. If they say use a circle, I have a circle. If they say use white ink, I have that, or a flower, I have that available. So for all the items that I craft with, and then I'm like, I have an extra, I'm not quite sure that I want to throw it out, it's still cute, I just throw it in my Calvin Ball box. And during Calvin Ball, I will make pages just using up the items there, and those can either be like mini masterboards or whatever. So I made a journal out of a book that I didn't like. It had picture images and stuff I wasn't thrilled with, so I knew I could cover them up. And I had this whole junk journal, and I gave it to my best friend because she's much more rustic and eclectic than I am. I tend to be a little bit more structured in the way that I make my journals. So anyways, with that said, I thought I would go through the process of organizing the things that would hold the mess I made the last couple days. So two things that I use that help with that are I was able to come across a whole set of these photo holders, and I will just have these available. And if I make like if there's a theme of something, so I'll put flowers in one of these and then just put it in my little box up here. That's not that organized because, we get organized and then we get unorganized, and that's how things go. So, and then I have these little CD cases too that I do the same thing with depending on the size of the items that I'm using. So sometimes the way I organize is making sure things fit into my organization structure. And I'll show you how I might do that today. So since these are homemade crafts, I'm looking at this here and I'm like, okay, well, this isn't really going to fit into either one of these. And I don't know if I have any scissors nearby. Let me see. So I can just go through here and grab all my the things that I feel are spring and this Valentine theme. And I will just start organizing. Oh, that's sort of cute. I'm not quite sure if I will use that as a whole, so I'll see if I can cut that down a little bit. So I can obviously play with things later, but this gives me a good start of just grabbing things that I know work for me. So I will also cut things like, okay, I just cut things in 3 because I know I could use that structurally as 3. And I did that earlier with some of these. So I'm just going to go through and grab all the spring things so I can lay things out in a spring theme, or I can when I'm organizing smaller things, for sure, I will like lay out, okay, is this winter? When I look at it, do I think winter, spring, summer, or fall? And then that way, when I'm crafting or making kits for the shop, I, like this is summer to me. These are all more summer to me. So I'm just going to set these over here for the summer theme with the leaves that I made. And I'm grabbing more spring. This is larger, and I'm going to keep it larger, and it's just going to go in my spring box. And so I'm not much of a multimedia person. I'm just getting used to playing with multimedia, and I've was looking at some of my stencils, and I'm like, oh wow, some of these stencils are coming on 20 years old. So it's fun as we start seeing our if you've been crafting for any length or period of time, you can this could be spring or winter if you look at Valentine's. So I'm sort of keeping Valentine's. And something that I find that I do is if I'm working in a season and I feel like I'm in my seasonal box, let's say, okay, so by the end of this month, I'll probably be done with my spring things. But if I see spring things that I feel like I might want to use later this year, I'll just move it forward to the next box. So these are more winter for me. So I'm just going to put these in my winter box, which is already filed away. I've got my spring box on my desk. And then, let's see. I'm thinking these are still spring. I can use that in spring. This is fall, this is spring. This is fall, this is fall. Yeah, all these I feel are more summery. Okay, and then this is pretty neutral either way. That's spring. I can go with that group. Okay, and these are all more fall. So here is my spring box. So in my spring box, I think my stencils are in a binder, but since the spring box has like clouds and flowers and the sun and a kite and an umbrella, I think, oh, I might use that for spring. We got Easter coming up. I'm going to pull out a few of these that I think will work for spring and put them in my spring box so I can just grab them. And then I have papers that I may have made for junk journals, but they didn't really fit, or I haven't gotten to that journal. And so I just put all my little extras in here that work for for spring ideas. And then hopefully what I want to do this month is make 1 or 2 journals out of what I have stashed in here. So I've had spring fabric and I put it in just one of these items. So I know everything that I grab out of here is sort of spring theme. And newborn babies, I think of spring. I had a book I cut down that had some cool images and I wanted to save those images, so I put them on doilies. And those, when I look at those, that reads as spring to me. Here are numbers. Like this could probably go into other seasons, these labels, and that might move forward into either spring or summer. But you can see the things that I've worked on. These were probably spring things I worked on last year. And if I get to the point where I'm like, gosh, I'm not really using these, or these aren't colors I'm using, they might go in my Calvin Ball box. And it's like, I'll just use those through Calvin Ball. And then I will sort out my Calvin Ball at the end of March and put things that may be more done products for me to use later in the year. So that's just sort of my process as I go through things. I just got a new kit. It's a really cute kit that have cutoffs, and I made this last week because I was going to put it in another journal and it really didn't work. So, and then I had done some more cut apart. So I'll go through the ephemera that I cut and separate that out and put it in this one as well. So I know my spring is getting full, and that is also a cue for me to do, I need to do a couple of spring themed journals. And so that may help me be a little bit more focused that way too. So this one is good here. And that was just a box that fell at the end of my table. So let's all be real here. Okay, so if I go through here and do the same thing, I'm looking at these. This is spring. This is summer, spring, spring. This is sort of farm animals. I really sort of I feel is summer for me. Spring, 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 spring. And this is all Lindsay Zanor's. She's got a daisy kit. She's got a worship kit here. Now these were, I believe they were freebies. I don't know if they were TLCs. I don't remember. But I think they can go either way. They could. Faces, I often think of family. I'm going to put it in spring to see if I go there, and since it's the beginning of the year, and it might move up into fall stuff. So this is all spring, and these are spring, spring, spring. That's going to be fall for me. That's going to be fall for me. Fall. I'll keep that in spring. Sunflowers are summer. Farm is summer. This is fall. These are fall. You guys see all the great plans I had for last year and didn't get to, right? Actually, I think I just printed this up last month. So these are sort of, I'm going to do fall because I think of home things as fall. This color tone can be spring. I'm going to put those color tones in spring. Hummingbirds remind me of spring. This is summer. And they're good. Those are sort of neutral. They can move into summer or fall if they need to. And then this is more mushrooms I feel are fall. More spring. Spring, spring, mushrooms. And if I see something that I'm working on, whether it's personal or whatever, like early morning thoughts, this might go into one of my own journals. So I'll just put it on top of my desk. I know it's something that I want to use. And then I will go ahead and now grab my, put these in my spring journal. They are, I can just set them in the front and separate them later because I know I'll probably separate them into the different journals that I want to make. I haven't gotten to that part in my process for this season. But in my mind, I'm thinking I want to make a daisy journal, I want to make a pink journal, and I may make a one with pretty ladies. So that's sort of my thought process there. Which one is this? This is my fall journal, or my fall box. And so I will set those in there. And I see this here. I'm starting to transition this pretty box into my fall items, but it's going to take me a while to get there fully. And then so here's my Christmas box. I used it pretty well this season. I used up most everything in it last year. I have a couple pieces, a few items of signatures that didn't get used this season, but I did pretty good with it. I've got my stencils and my washi tape that work good in there. I've started putting my my stamps. So eventually I would love for my boxes like this to always look like this. So I'm just grabbing my paper stash from where I actually keep it, which I'll show you how I organize that. But anything that is partially or is saved specifically for a season can go in here automatically. So if I want to do Christmas through the season, I know I can go, okay, I'm going to spend a day working on Christmas stuff to get ready for either Christmas in July or for December. Then I have that process going there. So the only thing I really feel, I gave some blue stuff to my friends. I've got some blue stuff here. And I should probably put this, for now I feel okay at just putting this in front because it's so little and how well this is organized. I feel okay to just use it like that. And then here is my summer kit. So my summer kit, I store all these. I have a hutch to the right of me, and under my hutch is, or in my lower part of the hutch is where I keep most of these things. So as I'm looking in here, my summer is pretty organized too. So I've got 4th of July. Then I've got fish and animal items. And then I've got scenery. Let's see. Florals. I'm just seeing if I can add anything. So I had worked on scraps and I have these letters. So this could easily go into fall. But if I'm decorating in the summer for fall, it's sort of transitionary. So that may have been why I had put some of those items there. Here is some more. I was looking for this. These are horses and farm, but it's pretty full. So I wonder if I have an empty one of these. Not really. Give me a moment. Okay. Here we go. So I wanted to just make sure I put all these little handmade items in here so they wouldn't get lost. So that can go there. And do I have another? Oh, here it is. And I just wanted to grab these for the cows. I have a horse one, but I don't think I have the cows. So these may not fit perfectly, but they're a good start. And then it gives me a chance to go through and say, do I need to back some of these up? Here's some birds and miscellaneous things. This is more flowers. Sunflowers. Farm and cows. So that is a simple way for me to just get a start on my projects. If things don't make it totally into my boxes, I have a little catch-all that I will grab things out of, so I don't feel stressed to think it has to be perfect. Again, I'm just going to put this in front because I think it's pretty well organized. It's not perfectly organized, but if I just go through here and know what I want, what I'm looking for, it meets the need. So I told you I had another little item on my desk that I use to organize myself, and it is my little turtle. And that's where I put all my extra little scraps and things that fall out. Like I had these leaves that fall out. So having this, I think most of these are spring in here because I saved them, but that's sort of where I put my catch-all. And so if I wanted to separate this out, I've got spring. This could be fall, spring. So I try to let this not overlap too much. And I might use that in spring. This is summer, that's spring, summer. Those tones are a little bit darker. That's fall, spring, spring, summer, spring, 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 spring. So I just go through and organize things as I feel like they need to be organized. And then I can put them in one of those little baggies and we are good to go. Food is often fall or it depends. It could be winter if it's coffee. I don't think I'm going to separate these out and put them away because I actually like having some things on my desk to use, and all these are neutral enough they might go where I want them to be. So again, Calvin balls just around the corner. They might end up in my Calvin ball box. But that is how I organize things on my desk or projects per se. These two need a mist where they needed to go. But I did want to organize this since I'm sitting here. And I think I'm going to go through and do it like spring, fall. See, I had some of the extras here. This is spring, fall. And then that way I can just line them up in my box the way that they need to be lined up. These are sort of funky stuff. So this is how I organize cutting off different things I'm not ready to quite yet part with, although I should probably. The recipe cards. Anything that is like home makes me winter calendars. makes me think of Thanksgiving is sort of where I do that. People are also sort of things that are close to my heart that way. So, and it might be the color or it might be the theme that reminds me. So I'm just grabbing these through as they need to go. Oh, I'm not quite sure about that. These can be spring. These are spring. These are spring. This is fall. This is summer. Summer. I want to go through and do that with the foods as far as which foods I think are spring, summer, and fall. These are fall themes. Fall, spring, summer, spring, 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 summer, spring colors, calendar, spring flowers, flowers, spring, fall, spring, fall, spring, home, fall. Or, I mean, summer, summer, travel summer, cleaning the house is summer, summer, that sort of looks spring to me. Spring into summer, fall, fall. Fall, 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 fall. I think these are Russian art. So countries I will put in fall, or they can be summer. Okay. This is miscellaneous. I'm going to put in spring, summer, fall, spring, travel, miscellaneous. Okay, so here I am, and I have very little winter. Pretty much it was calendars because they're all in my other box there. So then I'm going to do fall and just line up my box the way it needs to be lined up. So I might, at one point I had a lot of stuff in alphabetical order. I sort of go back and forth, but this seems to work out with me. I can just, when I think of something, I go, is that summer or fall for me? And then I know I can at least be closer to where I was. Whoops. So I have a lot of summer things in here. I'm just going to put this on top here and see if we can just get those stopped. So these are items that I have not finished crafting, or I haven't really started anything with. These are pretty much, I'm shopping from my ephemera group. And so whether I cut up book pages or have stickers from an estate sale or something like that, this is sort of my first stage of organizing things. And that I'm just going to put in my fall items. So if people ask, how do you organize things? I do it winter, spring, winter, spring, and fall. And so that gives me a chance to put things in there. And then I have extra things that may be neutral. It doesn't really matter. Like I've got stickers and stuff here, and they can be used universally. And I've got some foil here. So that is pretty much how I organize my ephemera and everything. So you can see it. So I have 5 sections. I have a starting point, and then I have the 4 seasons. That doesn't mean I don't have other pieces of ephemera stored in places, but that is sort of where I work from, and I'm trying to work everything into those. So I hope that helped out a little bit. I think I will go ahead and stop the video here. I am going to go ahead, since I'm working on this, go ahead through the recipe cards and see which ones meet which seasons, and put them in their respective places. And that will help me want to use them later when I'm crafting from those journals. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was a little bit helpful. I will show you later how I organize my stamps very similarly, and some of my other items that I really enjoy using. You guys have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.